Welcome back. Welcome back to Star Diamonds. Welcome back to Star Diamonds channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'm back with some more news. I'm back with some more news on the NAAAP news for the NAAAP news on Star Diamonds channel. Unfortunately, I'm back with some sad news today. Sad news today. Yes, I'm Big Mama Lala with some sad news today. Unfortunately, on the Star Diamonds channel, Tori Bowie. Unfortunately, the Olympic gold medalist Tori Bowie was reported died from pregnancy related causes. Tori Bowie. Tori Bowie was only 32 years old when she died. Tori Bowie was 8 months pregnant. I'm going to go ahead and show a clip of what happened to her. She was only 8 months pregnant. One moment, please. Prayers out to Tori Bowie's family. The death rate of African American pregnant women is on the rise. Tori Bowie was not overweight. She didn't have no illnesses. There was no reason for her to die at 8 months pregnant, unless it was just the Lord bringing her home. But the mental health community needs to do something to stop these deaths of African American women that's pregnant and too many C-sections. Just a minute.
Tori Bowie, who won gold, died due to childbirth. It's a pressing issue in our community, and one
Just a
group
minute.
has an
I'm
even
gonna play it
higher
again.
risk.
Sorry about the
Sprinter is
noise. I'm gonna play it again. Sorry about the background noise. This is a new channel. Support this new channel. Like and subscribe.
Well, the tragic death of an Olympic sprinter is bringing maternal mortality into the forefront. Doctors now say 32-year-old Tori Bowie, who won gold in the Rio Olympics, died due to childbirth. It's a pressing issue in our community, and one group has an even higher risk. Action News race and culture reporter Taronda Thomas tells us more.
I'm on your time, girl.
Actually, Xiomara Gittens is on the baby's time.
You know, the type of birth you want.
Coaching a soon-to-be mom over the phone before meeting her at the hospital as a doula and owner of the Purple Purpose in Marlton.
Providing emotional, physical, and spiritual support.
It's a personal cause for her.
I had a traumatic birth experience myself.
Which is why it was heartbreaking to hear the news of Olympic gold medalist Tori Bowie. New autopsy results reveal she died from complications of childbirth.
I get emotional a lot because it's like, you are literally a lot of Black women are losing their life.
On May 2nd, Bowie was found in bed, 8 months pregnant, with signs of respiratory distress and eclampsia.
Eclampsia is something that is pretty rare, and that is a sudden spike in your blood pressure that can cause seizures, that can cause a big embolism.
Dr. Asta Mehta is director of Philadelphia's Maternal Mortality Review Committee, which works to prevent tragic deaths like Bowie's.
They happen more than we think that they do, and they're always so tragic and sad, especially young people that are healthy and shouldn't be dying.
Black women have the highest maternal mortality in the U.S. In Philadelphia, they make up 43% of the births, but 73% of pregnancy-related deaths. There are 20 maternal deaths for every 100,000 births in the city. That's about 15% higher than the national average.
It's one thing to know your data, it's quite another to know your data and respond to it.
It's why Gittens does what she can, hoping to help save lives while bringing life into the world.
Ultimately reach our goal, which is a healthy mom and a healthy baby.
The Philadelphia Maternal Mortality Review Committee will release its latest findings at the end of this year. In the meantime, here at Gittens' office, she offers free classes for moms and dads to be. We have information on 6abc.com. In Marlton, New Jersey, Taronda Thomas, Channel 6 Action News.
It's terrible news about her passing. Very terrible. Tori Bowie was beautiful. She passed at 32 years old. I'm going to show some other clips and videos in this report about Tori Bowie's death, and also some more information. Here's some information, an article from the CDC, Center Disease for Control. Let me see, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. This article about working together to reduce Black maternal mortality states each year in the United States, hundreds of people died during pregnancy or in the year after. They say most pregnancy-related deaths are preventable. Thousands more have unexpected outcomes of labor and delivery with serious short or long-term health consequences. Every pregnancy-related death is tragic, especially because more than 80% of pregnancy-related deaths in the U.S. are preventable. Recognizing urgent maternal warning signs, providing timely treatment, and delivering respectful quality care can prevent many pregnancy-related deaths. That's right. That's the emphasis. Quality care, quality health care. That's the problem. Either the gynecologists are not getting quality education, or the gynecologists are not telling these Black women what they need to know, or listening to them about their pregnancy issues. This article also goes on to say racial disparity exists. Black women are 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related cause than white women. Multiple factors contribute to these disparities, such as variation in quality health care. See, just like I said, underlying chronic conditions, structural racism, and implicit bias. So they know it. The Center Disease for Control knows this. They need to do something about it to all the doctors, all the gynecologists. This is an emergency that something needs to be done to all the gynecologists. The Center Disease for Control needs to have an emergency meeting, because our women, too many young African American women are dying. Some of the babies are dying too in the childbirth, because of just what they said. Multiple factors contribute to these disparities, such as variation in the quality of healthcare, underlying chronic conditions, structural racism, and implicit bias. They know it's racism. Systematic racism is real. Systematic racism is in everywhere. Systematic racism is in the government. It's in the health. It's in the doctor's offices. Systematic racism is in the doctor's offices. Systematic racism is in school. It's in the whole system of America that needs to be redone. The whole systematic racism needs to be stopped, especially in the medical field. This article goes on to say social determinants of health prevent many people from racial and ethnic minority groups from having fair opportunities for economic, physical, and emotional health. They know it, and they need to do something about it. They try to say underlying chronic conditions, but I'm going to show you Tori Bowie again. Tori Bowie had no underlying chronic conditions. This is her about 6 years ago, before her death, when she won an Olympic gold medal in the Olympics. Shout out to NBC Sports. Thank you for the videos. And also thank you for the CDC article. And thank you to Six Channel, the YouTube channel 6 ABC.
Here, that's why she's on the outside, but she's dangerous. If she runs a great race on the outside, they won't see her. And they're being called to the blocks. So
it said it right here. Because of structural racism, that's why she died. That's what I interpreted. Underlying chronic conditions. She had no underlying chronic conditions. If she had underlying chronic conditions, she would not be able to run as much as she did. She didn't die till she became pregnant. She was 8 months pregnant.
In the 100, both male.
Well, the tragic death of an Olympic sprinter is bringing maternal mortality into the forefront. Doctors now say 32-year-old Tori Bowie, who won gold in the Rio Olympics, died due to childbirth. It's a pressing issue in our community, and one group has an even higher risk. Action News race and culture reporter Taronda Thomas tells us more.
I'm on your time, girl.
Actually, Xiomara Gittens is on the baby's time.
You know, the type of birth you want.
Coaching a soon-to-be mom over the phone before meeting her at the hospital as a doula and owner of the Purple Purpose in Marlton.
Providing emotional, physical, and spiritual support.
It's a personal cause for her.
I had a traumatic birth experience.
And see, I didn't even hear nothing about this. The major news report didn't say nothing about this woman, Tori Bowie, dying when she was 8 months pregnant. She's an Olympic gold medalist. It should have been on the major news channels. I didn't hear nothing about her dying until recently, because her autopsy came out. Her autopsy recently came out yesterday, June 13th. That's why they're reporting about this now. Her autopsy came out. And then that's why now it's on the news, but it's on the little local news. It ain't on the big news channel. It should have been on the big news channel reporting about the Olympic gold medalist Tori Bowie died 8 months pregnant at home. She probably had symptoms and things, and she probably called the doctor, and the doctor probably said just to rest, and she was resting in bed. The doctor should have told her what to do, and I found out now what to do. I'm going to give you some information to help other pregnant Black women in America and around the world, especially America, because America has the highest maternal mortality death rate. It said it right here about the maternal death rate. Black women are 3 times more likely to die than white women in pregnancy. They say 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related cause than white women. And how is that? The Black women is 3 times more likely to die in pregnancy-related. That means the pregnant, the same thing for the babies. Black children and nowadays in pregnancy, childbirth is 3 times more likely to die too in childbirth. And they said it because of implicit bias and structural racism, and because of bad health care, variation in quality health care. Whoever was Tori's doctor, whoever was her doctor, should have gave her some better health care. I'm gonna play it again to why they said why she died. But like I said, they should have been reported about her passing away. I just found out a month later about her passing away on social media, on YouTube. It was not on the major news channels. People wouldn't hear about this if they don't have social media. Like NBC, ABC, or whatever. That's public TV. It was not on the public TV news channels as far as I heard of. It was on little local channels or either on YouTube or something like that. And they finally said something. But come to find out, this poor woman, Tori Bowie, died at 32 years around the 1st of May, right before Mother's Day. That was very important. They should have reported it. But guess what? The Star Diamonds channel is reporting it. If you appreciate this report, please like, share, and subscribe. Share this video to help other African American pregnant mothers or mothers to be, so that they will know what to do. And this is a tip. Come to find out, it's a simple tip what to do to help prevent pregnancy deaths. And I'm going to play the video in it. And I found it out. It's a simple, low cost thing that will help Black women to deliver and stay alive in pregnancy. Also, it's too many C-sections too. The C-sections is also given to too many black women. Black women don't need C-sections all the time, but they give black women C-sections seem like over 50% of the time instead of vaginal births. They cutting the babies out just like how they did in slavery. They cut the babies out the wombs and just ripped them out the black women's bellies. And now they got legal right to just rip the black women bellies, rip the black women's babies out their bellies. They cut them right out their bellies. Back in slavery days, it was awful, but now they got the legal right to do it in the hospitals, to just cut the babies out and pull them out when they don't have to be pulled and yanked out the bellies like that. It probably gives the poor baby shock, and it's not healthy for the woman in the vaginal tract. They can't have more babies like that with too many C-sections. They can have more babies with vaginal births, but too many C-sections is dangerous, and some of them die. But I'm going to play a little bit again about what they're saying about Tori Bowie's death.
Second, Bowie was found in bed 8 months pregnant with signs of respiratory distress and eclampsia.
Eclampsia is something that is pretty rare, and that is a sudden spike in your blood pressure that can cause seizures, that can cause a big.
Okay, they said she had preeclampsia, and preeclampsia is a spike in the blood pressure. The autopsy said that she had blood pressure, high blood pressure, preeclampsia. They said she had high blood pressure and preeclampsia. But either way, if she had high blood pressure and all of that, it should have been reported. And this is a simple fix right here. A simple fix to help the problem. But most people don't know about it. But I'm going to report it right here. Listen to it.
Preeclampsia is a pregnancy-related multisystem disorder characterized by new-onset hypertension and proteinuria that can lead to preterm birth and can result in serious maternal, fetal, and neonatal complications, including the death of the mother or the baby. Professional organizations recommend low-dose aspirin in women who are considered to be at high risk for preeclampsia, but randomized trials have demonstrated inconsistent effects of aspirin on the risk of preeclampsia. And strategies for identifying high-risk women may fail to identify many women who subsequently have preeclampsia. Combined multi-marker screening using a combination of maternal factors such as age, race, medical history, and biophysical and biochemical measurements between 11 and 13 weeks of gestation has been proposed to improve the detection of high-risk cases. In the international double-blind ASPRI trial, investigators randomized 1,776 women with singleton pregnancies who were identified as being at high risk for preeclampsia on the basis of multi-marker screening to receive 150 milligrams of aspirin or placebo daily from 11 to 14 weeks of gestation until 36 weeks of gestation. The primary outcome, which was delivery due to preeclampsia before 37 weeks of gestation, occurred in 1.6% of the women in the aspirin group, as compared with 4.3% of those in the placebo group, a statistically significant difference. Rates of neonatal adverse outcomes did not differ significantly between the aspirin and placebo groups. The authors conclude that low-dose aspirin in women at high risk for preterm preeclampsia reduced the incidence of the condition. Full trial results are available at nejm.org.
You see that? A simple fix. I come to find out today that's all they needed. That's all Tori Bowie probably needed, and that's all a lot of black women that's pregnant, they're having deaths, and they rushing them into C-section operations and stuff, or black women dying of preeclampsia. They say preeclampsia is high blood pressure. Eclampsia is when they have seizures because of high blood pressure. All they needed was low dose aspirin. So put the word out. Share this video. Pregnant women that's in high risk, and most African American women is in high risk. When you become into the second and third trimester, you need to begin to take low dose aspirin. Low dose aspirin is the simple fix, but the doctors is not going to tell them that. The doctors should tell them that. They know this. They know it. This was the New England Journal, the NEJM group. NEJM group, they know it. NEJM group. I'm also going to give information about what happened to this another black woman in childbirth, Shanice Wallace. Watch this too. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, please.
We fulfill our purpose when we help others. That is the part that gives me peace, is that I know that Shanice was here for other people. She executed love like nobody that I know. It was her destiny to be a good doctor to every single patient.
She swept me off my feet. And I was like, I want to marry that girl. Pregnancy, for most of it, was very smooth, very exciting, up until 2 months before she's due. It was October 19th, and we were just out enjoying ourselves. And she was just complaining about a headache. The next day, she goes to her doctor's appointment. They notice that her blood pressure is really, really high. They tell her that they're going to admit her into the hospital. It looks like she's showing signs of developing preeclampsia. Because preeclampsia is developing so fast, they tell us that we're going to have an emergency C-section. On October 20th, Charlotte is welcome into the world, and we're just both excited.
We're all in the text thread like, congratulations, and sending all of the emojis and the memes. And then it gets serious, and it's, our sister is not doing well. Our friend is not doing well. Shanice is not doing well.
She ended up having a brain aneurysm. They ruled her brain dead officially 4 days after Charlotte is born.
She was so young, and she didn't get that opportunity to be a mother.
My mom dealt with preeclampsia with birthing me. It's like, why are we still dealing with preeclampsia like right now? Why did Shanice have to be a victim of preeclampsia, knowing that 33 years ago, this was something that my mom dealt with and made it through? It's kind of hard to think about Charlotte not having the same privilege that I had of being raised by both her biological parents. But I know she's still surrounded by so much love.
With Shanice's passing, the desire to want to learn and support Black mothers like never before has increased. I feel like it is my duty to ensure that I tell them the things that I learned, like having a second ear, advocating for yourself.
Being a physician herself, being intelligent, maybe there were times where she needed to share with me some information, but she didn't want me to be concerned or me to worry. If I could speak to women, I would want them to consider themselves. Take how you're feeling so seriously.
Did you hear that? Shanice, her name was Shanice Wallace. Dr. Shanice Wallace. She was a doctor. She was only in her 30s. So you can't say she died because of age, and you can't say she died because of health issues. She wasn't overweight. A lot of times they try to blame Black women for pregnancy deaths because they try to say it was overweight. They can't blame overweight on maternal deaths all the time. Tori Bowie was not overweight. this woman, Shanice Wallace, was not overweight. Her after she passed, after they gave her C-section, that I believe that C-section is part of the main reason why she died. They gave her a C-section because they said she had preeclampsia. Just because she had preeclampsia, there was no reason to give her a C-section, in my opinion. Just because she had preeclampsia, you see how the hospital did it? They killed her, in my opinion. They killed her allegedly, in my opinion, because I'm saying, just because she had preeclampsia, see, this is how they're doing it. Oh, they say, oh, you had preeclampsia. Just because she had preeclampsia, they say, oh, you need to have a C-section. You need to hurry up and deliver this baby. They could have induced her instead of doing a C-section. Instead, they want to cut the black women's babies out their bellies like they did in slavery. They used to just cut the babies out and pull them out and smash the babies' heads in slavery. That's the truth. Slavery history. The racist white people in the history, when they wanted to punish black women for not being obedient in slavery, if they was pregnant, they didn't care if they was pregnant. They still hung them, and they still cut the babies out their belly, and they smashed the baby's head. They killed the woman and the baby. And I'm sensing that's what's happening today in 2023 still. They're cutting the babies out, the women. Some of the babies live and some don't. Some of the mothers live and some don't. But most of them are not living. Black women have 3 times higher death rates of in pregnancies and C-sections. They blaming it on preeclampsia. That's one reason. Or they just saying because of poor health conditions. This young woman was healthy, just like Tori Bowie was healthy. Tori Bowie was healthy too. She was healthy. She was healthy. Let me get back to the channel I was watching. There you go. And thank you for Roche Diagnostics USA for this video. My sympathies to Shanice Wallace family, Dr. Shanice Wallace. She was a doctor. She knew the medicine things, but she didn't even know or was trained right. That's why I said they're not training the OBGYNs. They're not training the doctors right like how they used to. At least back in the day, the doctors was trained better. I'm sensing they're not training them with the truth of how they need to train these young doctors and OBGYNs. And this is proof right here because Shanice Wallace, Dr. Shanice Wallace, she was a doctor. They said she was a doctor. If you don't believe me, watch the video again. She was a doctor. So she knew things, but she didn't know what to do to save herself and her pregnancy. Come to find out, just like I played earlier in the NEJM group video, all she needed was low-dose aspirin. Her husband said she was complaining of headaches, and she went to the doctor. The doctor or either the hospital said, we're going to have to induce you and give you a C-section. All because she said she had headaches. She didn't even need all of that. All she needed was low-dose aspirin. That low-dose aspirin would have took away that headache. It would have took away her high blood pressure. And she could have waited. It could have helped her to stay pregnant because they said that she was around 7 months. She was around 7 months when she went in the hospital and ended up giving birth through a C-section. She lived, they said she lived around maybe 4 days or 4 hours. I can't remember how they said it, but I think he said she lived about 4 hours after her death. She lived 4 hours after her C-section. She probably got to see the baby for nothing but 1 or 2 hours. And then they said she was brain dead. I'm upset. It hurts me. I could cry right now. I could cry for her and all black women that died in death birth. that died in pregnancy birth. Excuse me, it hurts me. And this is important. It needs to be said. People need to stop being scared to talk about the truth. Star Diamonds, this is Star Diamonds channel. And I'm Big Mama Lala on the Star Diamonds channel. I'm not going to sugarcoat the truth for my people. This is a black news channel and entertainment channel. And I'm going to give the truth either way. And in my opinion, like I say, thank the Lord. See, I researched it today. I researched it to find out, what is this? Why are they dying? And they said when in Tori Bowie's death is going to shed light on this early mortality. Tori Bowie, even though she died in a sad way, she's a martyr. That's why she was in lane number 7. Number 7, the Lord let it happen for a reason. It was terrible. She died at 8 months, and her son or daughter died in her belly at home when they found her dead. An Olympic gold medalist. Even though she died like that, the Lord knew what was going to happen before it happened. And the Lord used her death to shed some light. Because if I had not heard about Tori Bowie's death, I wouldn't have researched it and found out what they meant. They said that she had preeclampsia, and she probably had a they said Tori Bowie right here. They said that she had preeclampsia, and they said preeclampsia means high blood pressure. And they said that preeclampsia only happens in pregnant women, especially black women. They said preeclampsia meaning blood pressure, and they said she possibly had a seizure too. They call it eclampsia. So preeclampsia is blood pressure, high blood pressure, and eclampsia is a seizure because of the high blood pressure while pregnant. So people live after seizures. Seizures don't usually kill somebody unless they have a severe seizure and they keep seizing. All she needed was low dose aspirin. I'm going to play this video of Tori Bowie too.
Everyone that knows me knows I love music. So I just linked up with Elijah, and Elijah's about to sing Let Me Love You from Neo. Let's check him out.
The former Olympic and world champion sprinter Tori Bowie has died at the age of 32, her management company confirmed on Wednesday. "My heart breaks for the family of Tori Bowie," wrote the 3-time Olympic champion, Shelley Ann Fraser-Price on Twitter, "a great competitor and source of light. Your energy and smile will always be with me. Rest in peace." Bowie was found dead at her home in Florida. A cause of death has not been released. USATF is deeply saddened by the passing of Tori Bowie, a 3-time Olympic medalist and 2-time world champion. Max Siegel, the CEO of USA Track and Field, said in a statement, "A talented athlete, her impact on the sport is immeasurable, and she will be greatly missed. The American won 3 gold medals on the global stage. Her first came as part of the USA 4.
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not with physical.
X100 relay team at the 2016 Olympics. 2017 was even more successful. She added another relay gold at the World Athletics Championships in London and won individual gold in the 100 meters, beating Ivory Coast's Marie-Josie Talu in a photo finish. "I had no idea. All I knew was I wanted to give it everything I've got," Bowie said after her victory. "Am I really world champion?" She won 2 other Olympics medals, a silver and bronze in the 100 meters and 200 meters respectively in Rio in 2016. Bowie was born and raised in Mississippi. She played basketball as a girl before her talent on the track became apparent after winning state titles in the 100 meters, 200 meters, and long jump. "I remember just racing everywhere as a child, like in the trees, wherever. I raced all the time," she told The Guardian in 2017. She enjoyed more success at college championships in athletics in Beijing. She competed in the 100-meter dash and the 4x100-meter relay at the World Championships, and she won bronze in the dash and silver in the relay. In 2016, Bowie was selected to compete for the United States of America in the 100-meter dash, the 200-meter dash, and the 4x100-meter relay. At the Rio Olympics, she competed in the 100-meter dash and the 4x100-meter relay, where she brought home a bronze medal and a silver medal, respectively. In 2017, Bowie extended her run of success by winning the 100-meter event at the USA Out.
Look at her. Look at her. She was strong. Beautiful. Beautiful, black and strong. Nothing was wrong with her. We don't know if it was something else that might have caused her death, but the autopsy that they did on her, the results came out yesterday, June 13th, as of this video was made, that the results they said was preeclampsia and possible eclampsia, or seizure, or high blood pressure. Like I said before, all she needed was low dose aspirin. But the doctors are not going to tell these black mothers that, because they want to spend all this money on C-sections. The hospitals want all this money on operations and C-sections and more doctor visits. And plus, they trying to depopulate the population of African American people anyway. So they don't care if they don't give them the information. That if all that she needed was low dose aspirin to prevent the headache and the blood pressure and the seizures, low dose aspirin helps to prevent heart attacks and it helps to prevent seizures. But if that's all she needed, and that video said the doctor advised that those women take it, high-risk women in pregnancy, they said if they take the aspirin every day in their later trimesters, they said in the second and third trimesters, they said every day, it's okay, take it every day, low dose. You probably don't even need it every day, at least once a week, low dose aspirin. The doctor said it was okay on the trial. Watch this video again if you need to hear it. Like and subscribe also to support this channel, and some more. Every like that I get, when you like the video, more people can see the video. Like and subscribe. Subscribe so you won't miss out on any more great videos from Star Diamond's channel. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe and comment. Make sure you share this video. But I play all this, the show. Like I said, the Lord, I'm sensing the Lord let that happen to her, even though it was sad, because she was famous. And because this happened to a famous African-American black woman that died at 8 months of pregnancy for no real reason, it was no real reason. She was healthy. The doctors didn't give her proper health care, just like what happened to this woman, Shanice, the doctor. She was a young doctor, Dr. Shanice. Let me see her last name again. Dr. Shanice Wallace. Dr. Wallace, right there. She knew about health care, but evidently they didn't teach her about low dose aspirin either. But because Shanice Wallace passed away, and she was famous, it exposed the problem of maternal deaths among African American women being higher than white women. It exposed it even more, and it's putting it on the front. And it made me want to research it. And by me researching it, I found out today, I saw the video right there. Right there. That's all it needed. That's all they needed was aspirin, low dose aspirin.
Preeclampsia is a pregnancy-related multi-system risk for preeclampsia on the basis of multi-marker screening to receive 150 milligrams of aspirin or placebo daily from 11 to 14 weeks of gestation until 36 weeks of gestation.
Placebo means is nothing. Placebo. Sometimes, see, doctors can be tricky. Sometimes the doctors can give you a medicine and make you think it's something in a medicine, but it's nothing. Placebo means that it's a fake pill. Okay, so and they do that to test. They do trials. They do, drug trials. They want to test the drug to see if it works on some people, and the people that give the placebo, it's a fake drug. They want to see what happens to them. Sometimes people minds think, oh, I'm taking medicine, and they get better. So that's why sometimes they make people think that they actually giving them medicine, but they giving them a pill with nothing in it. That means placebo. Okay, so that when they say aspirin versus placebo, that means some of the people get the aspirin, some of the women got the aspirin that was pregnant, and then some women got the placebo. The placebo means a fake pill. It was nothing in it. Okay, they don't tell the patients that they are taking placebos. So that shows a lot of the secrecy that's allowed in healthcare. It should never be a way that a patient is taking a placebo and don't even know that they're taking a placebo. But they do that on purpose for the health field, so that they can study. It's a trial. They don't tell the patient, "Oh, we're giving you a trial placebo." They don't tell them that. They make them think that they're actually taking something. But then after they give them the placebo, a fake pill, then they want to see how their body reacts to no medicine versus the one with the medicine. This is the trial right here. They did a trial on the people that the pregnant women that took aspirin, low dose aspirin, versus the pregnant women that took a fake pill with nothing in it. They said the aspirin helped.
The primary outcome, which was delivery due to preeclampsia before 37 weeks of gestation, occurred in 1.6% of the women in the aspirin group, as compared with 4.3% of those in the placebo group, a statistically significant difference.
You see that? They said now these are the women they studied. They said the women that was given the fake pill, the placebo, they had higher delivery with preeclampsia. Delivery with preeclampsia. That means they delivered with preeclampsia. They had theirs was 4.3% more higher than the ones that had aspirin.
Rates of neonatal adverse outcomes did not differ significantly between the aspirin and placebo groups. The authors conclude that low-dose aspirin in women at high risk for preterm preeclampsia reduced the incidence of the condition. Full trial results are available at NEJ. Neonatal adverse outcomes did not differ significantly between the aspirin and placebo groups. The authors conclude that low-dose aspirin in women at high risk for preterm outcomes did not differ significantly between the aspirin and placebo groups.
Okay.
The authors conclude that low-dose...
It said that the neonatal outcomes did not difference. So that means that they still had their babies. They didn't die, but they had preeclampsia. They could have died. But the aspirin helped to reduce the preeclampsia. And this was their study trial. This poor woman, Shanice, died needlessly. All she needed was low-dose aspirin. Her poor baby ended up growing up without a mother. And you can see on the poor baby's eyes how lonely she looks. Even though she got her strong, beautiful father with her to hold her. And she knows she's safe. I'm going to show it right here. You see? She knows she's safe. But you can see in her eyes that it's a sadness in her eyes. The baby know that she missing something. She don't even know what it feels to have her mother hold her. She don't know what it feels, but she can sense something is wrong. But she still feels safe and secure with her father holding her. All she knows is she got her father, but she know that something else is missing. You can see it in her eyes.
She's so young, and she didn't get that opportunity to be a mother.
My mom dealt with preeclampsia with birthing me. It's like, why are we still dealing with preeclampsia like right now? Why did Shanice have to be a victim of preeclampsia, knowing that 33 years ago, this was something that my mom dealt with and made it through? You know, it's kind of hard to think about Charlotte not having the same privilege that I had of being raised by both her biological parents. But I know she's still surrounded by so much love.
With Shanice's passing, the desire to want to learn and support Black mothers like never before has increased. I feel like it is my duty to ensure that I tell them the things that I learned, like having a second ear, advocating for yourself.
Being a physician herself, being intelligent, maybe there were times where she needed to share with me some information, but she didn't want me to be concerned or me to worry. You know, if I could speak to women, I would want them to
I'm gonna play it again. She was a doctor.
Being intelligent, maybe there were times where she needed a physician herself, being intelligent, maybe there were times where she needed to share with me some information, but she didn't want me to be concerned or me to worry. You know, if I could speak to women, I would want them to consider themselves. Take how you're feeling so seriously.
You hear that, ladies? And for the men watching too, this is important just in case you have a baby, you don't want your woman to die in childbirth. Make sure you get some low dose aspirin.
We fulfill our purpose when we help others. That is the part that gives me peace, is that I know that Shanice was here for other people. She executed love like nobody that I know.
And watching this video,
it was her destiny to be a good doctor to every single patient.
She swept me off my feet. And I was like, I want to marry that girl.
The message can learn.
Pregnancy,
when Tori
most of it, was very smooth, very exciting, up until 2 months before she's due.
Most people wouldn't probably hear about it. But because
it was October 19th, and we were just out enjoying ourselves.
That made me to research it.
And then she was just complaining about a headache.
Shanice Wallace died too.
The next day, she goes to her doctor's appointment. They notice that her blood pressure is really, really high.
She died too.
They tell her that they're going to admit.
And because the beginning of this video, I'm going to play it again. At the beginning, what her friend said, her friend is hurting for her. At least her friend is there to support her baby and her ex-husband. But when she said this made me realize, yes, I can't keep the knowledge to myself. I have to share the knowledge so it can save some lives.
We fulfill our purpose when we help others. That is the part that gives me peace, is that I know that Shanice was here for other people. She executed love like nobody that I know. It was her destiny to be a good doctor to every single patient.
She swept me off my feet. And I was like, I want to marry that girl.
See what I mean? You have to share the knowledge.
Pregnancy, for most of it, was very smooth, very exciting, up until 2 months before she's due.
And that's what this channel is here for. That's what the group
It was October 19th, and we were just out enjoying ourselves.
To support African American issues.
She was just complaining about
to learn
headache.
more about African American issues. You can go
the next day.
Facebook.
She goes to her doctor's appointment. They notice that her blood pressure is really, really high. They tell her that they're going to admit her into the hospital. It looks like she's showing signs of developing preeclampsia.
And thank you so much for watching this.
Because
there's more information I wanted to show. Let me finish playing this video. One moment. With Tori Bowie.
Outdoor Track and Field Championships, where she took home the gold medal, and the 100-meter event at the IAF World Championships in Athletics, held in London, where she took home the silver medal. In addition, she earned a bronze medal in the long jump competition that took place at the same championships. In 2018, while Bowie was competing in the indoor season, she sustained a catastrophic...
Want a lawn that looks like this? Well, your lawn looks a little bit more like this. Then you should click right here and check out True Green. With a local lawn experts.
They can't blame her health.
injury,
They can't
which
say
forced
that
her
she
to
was
sit out a
fat.
significant portion of the outdoor season.
Diabetic. She wasn't diabetic. She wasn't overweight. And I'm back again. Yes, sometimes it won't let me record past 30 minutes, so I have to add the clips and add it together to make it one total video. So please like and subscribe, because this is some work. You know, I have to add the videos together past 30 minutes, and I don't want to have several videos, so I combine it all together into one video for my subscribers. Yes, please subscribe. Thank you so much. And I also wanted to say, just in case if you didn't hear me, sorry if you didn't hear me when I was talking over the video, but I was trying to get out some information. But like I was trying to say, Tori Bowie, because she was famous, I believe that's why the Lord let that happen to her. That's why she won the Olympic medal running in lane 7. She was in number 7. I'm going to show it again, if I can see it. She was in number 7. Nothing was wrong with Tori Bowie. She was in number 7. She was a beautiful young black woman. She was beautiful in spirit and beautiful outside. She was beautiful on the inside and the outside. That's what made her beautiful. And that's what hurts even more, because she didn't get it again with her in number 7. This is for the world.
Fantastic performance to challenge her for the gold. Thompson on the right, American Tori Bowie on the left.
This is for the world.
First
Lane
20
number
meters.
7. 7 is the Lord's number.
If she can overcome
If
that,
you don't know, look it up in the
it's
Bible.
going to take a
That's
really
preacher.
fantastic
Number
performance
7 is the
to
Lord's
challenge
number.
her for the gold.
And the reason why I keep
Thompson
harping
on the right,
her lane number 7,
American Tori
she
Bowie
even
on
got
the
the number
left.
7 on. It was on social media
Look at
news.
the
Thank you,
finish and look
YouTube,
at where Bowie
for
leaned
the
to
knowledge.
lean
Thank
past
you also,
Toulouse.
US Tonight
So for
channel.
the very first
Thank you
time
for
since
Roche
2005, the United States
Thank you for the
have
Tori
the
Bowie
world
family.
champions in the 100, both
May Tori
male
Bowie rest in
and
peace.
female.
Thank
We
you.
mentioned the possibility of an upset.
Condolences
And it
to her
happens
family.
again.
Condolences to Shanice Wallace
The
family
Justin
also.
Gatlin wins
But
it for
because,
the
like I
men,
said,
and
Tori
Tori
Bowie, I
upsets
wouldn't even heard
Elaine
about
Thompson
Shanice
for the
Wallace
women.
if I hadn't
The
heard what
Olympic
happened to
champion
Tori
did
Bowie
not look
first.
good in the
And the
middle of
reason
this race.
why
Let's
I
go back
heard
to the
about
start.
Tori Bowie is
Here's the
because
Olympic champion, Elaine
she was
Thompson.
an Olympic
Here is Tori Bowie, who
world
I said
winner,
had to have a flawless
gold
race
medalist. She won
to
the
win
gold
tonight.
right here.
Talu is on the right in lane 4. She was
the Lord,
gone.
like I
The
said,
Olympic champion
used
tries to
what happened
respond.
to her
Thompson, it
to
isn't there. She
expose
falls off.
the
But
significance,
look at
the
Bowie's
serious
last 30. Right
fatal
past Talu.
significance of what's
And she
happening to
pays for it
African
with a
American
fall.
women
That
in
won't
America,
matter,
the richest
because she'll be able to
country,
tell everybody she fell
supposedly the
and
richest
fell
country.
into
It
the
is the
world
richest
100
country
meter
in the
title.
world,
Her very first
but they're giving
100
the
meter
poorest health
global
care
title
to
after the
African
silver
American pregnant
last
women.
year in Rio.
They're
So
making
Bowie
billions of
did what she
dollars
had
in
to
the health
do,
field. They're making
overcoming some
billions
of
of
her
dollars
stumbles
with the
last year
Olympics.
in the
They're
Olympic
making billions
Games.
of dollars
And this
with
is as
everything
good
else
a
in
lead
the
as
war.
you will
They're
ever
making billions
see,
of dollars, but yet
leaning
they can't
herself
make billions of dollars to help African
into the
American
world title.
pregnant women from
Bowie was
dying 3
behind in the
times more than
beginning,
white women.
but a la Justin Gatlin last evening,
Return to competition in 2019 resulted in a victory at the USA Outdoor Track and Field Championships in the 100-meter dash, where she took the gold medal. Bowie is well known for her lightning-fast speed, as well as her fluid running style. Additionally, she is a multi-talented athlete who is able to compete in both running and jumping competitions. Off the track, Bowie is a devoted Christian who has openly discussed the significance of her faith in her life and has spoken about it in public. She is also a supporter of efforts to raise awareness about mental health and has spoken publicly about her own battles with anxiety and despair. Tori Bowie is a world-class track and field athlete who has been successful in both the Olympics and the World Championships, winning many medals at both competitions. Her speed, versatility, and commitment to her sport have helped her become one of the best sprinters in the world. In addition, her personal values and the advocacy work that she does have helped her become a role model for young athletes all over the world. Don't forget to subscribe our channel. Thanks for watching. In next video, we also tell you multiple things about Tori Bowie.
So Richardson family, the neighbors are
Need some
very
more
curious
information
about your new
Tori
family
Bowie
member.
and
Oh,
her funeral.
Elizabeth?
Hello.
We built her
Like
when our
and
daughter moved
subscribe.
out so we could keep.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. Olympic track star Tori Bowie was laid to rest during a private funeral in Mississippi. The athlete's funeral took place at the True Vine Baptist Church in Brandon, Mississippi on Saturday. Loved ones
Death
of
is
the
real.
Olympic track star who
This
died
is
at the
real,
age of
people.
32
This is
earlier this
real.
month
People
attended
dying
her funeral at the
in
True
pregnancy,
Vine
babies
Baptist
dying
Church
in
in Brandon,
pregnancy. Every
Mississippi
life
on
is
Saturday.
special.
Reverend Sylvester
Every
Landon,
life is
who
special.
officiated the service and gave the eulogy,
Even an African
detailed that
American
he was
woman's life
shocked
is
when he
special.
learned of
The
Bowie's
most, I
death.
feel.
The funeral
Because the
was held
African
less than
woman
12
is
miles
the
away from
first
her
woman
high school
on
where
earth.
she
The
attended
first human
and where
on
her
earth is the
first
African
athletic
American
career
woman. And if
began.
y'all can't show
At the
respect
funeral,
for the
there were
African
beautiful
American woman
framed
giving
photos
birth
of
and
Bowie
giving
in
her the
action
proper
on the
health
track,
care and tell
where
her
the
all she
world
needed
knew
was
her the
low dose
most.
aspirin,
However, there
the
were
health
also
care community
portraits
should
of
be
Bowie
ashamed
that
of
showed a
themselves.
side that only her family and close friends could have seen. Bowie's dazzling smile and warmth could be felt throughout the photos. Bowie's death was announced on May the 3rd by her management team and USA Track and Field. She was 32. The funeral was held less than 12 miles from her high school, where she became a 3-time state champion
This
in the
also
4x100
reminds me
meters
of
for
a
the
personal
Dragons, and
experience
also
in my
set a
own
record in
family. I had a
2008
cousin
by
that died
clearing
at
19
37
feet,
years old
9.5 inches in
from
the long
pregnancy.
jump. Bowie's management team
She
announced
was
her
living,
death
she
in a
was all
social
right.
media statement last week. We are devastated to share the
know she
very
was
sad
pregnant. She
news
was
that
keeping
Tori
it from the
Bowie has
family. She
passed
even kept it
away.
from her own mother
We've lost a
until she
client,
ended
a
up with
dear
health
friend,
problems.
daughter, and sister. Tori was a
Sometimes people
champion,
like
a
to keep
beacon of
things to
light that
themselves.
shined so bright.
But
We're
either
truly
way,
heartbroken, and our
unfortunately, my
prayers are with
cousin
the family
Tamika,
and friends.
I'm
The
going to say her
statement
name,
continued.
Tamika Roby, unless
The Orange
unfortunately
County's
she
Sheriff's
passed away
Department then confirmed that
in the
Bowie was
hospital
found dead at her
during
home
COVID.
by the police
During the
after they were
COVID
asked to
times
check on
where
her.
pregnant women could not
The
even have
department said that
anyone
the officers arrived
in
at
the
her home on Bauman Drive to
pregnant
conduct a
woman could not
well-being
even have
check of the
anyone in the
woman
hospital.
in her 30s who had not been
And
seen
that's
or
a
heard
shame. I
from
don't
in
care if it
several
was a
days.
COVID virus.
After the
They still
deputies
should have been
entered the
able
home,
to
they
have
discovered
somebody
and
with them in
identified
delivery.
Bowie, who was
Pregnant women
reportedly
was having
found dead
delivery
at the
during
residence. The department
coronavirus
said there were no
when the
signs
government
of
was
foul
shut
play,
down.
but any
They
additional
was having
information
delivery and
was
C-sections
needed
by
to come
themselves. They
forward.
wouldn't even let
May
the
her
baby
soul
daddy
rest in
come in
peace,
there.
and our condolences goes out to her
They wouldn't
family
let
and friends
nobody in
and
there,
loved
and that's
ones.
ridiculous. If they should at least let them have one family member in there. Most states will not let not one person in there except for the mother giving birth. And that's how my poor cousin passed away. They would not let nobody come in there with her. And then she told her mother, yes, she told her mother. Eventually, her mother didn't know she was pregnant, but eventually her mother knew she was pregnant. Her mother knew she was in hospital. They wouldn't even let her come in there. Her mother couldn't even come in the hospital. The only time they let her mother come in the hospital was when she was dead. Then they let her mother come in the hospital. They waited till after she died, after childbirth. Then they said you can come in so that you can sign some papers and get her belongings. My cousin Tamika was only 37 years old when she passed away during COVID. I think it was 2020 or 2021. And what happened to her, she was only 5 months pregnant. And I believe they said that that her baby had no heartbeat. She had went to the doctor trying to save her baby. I don't know all the details about what happened to her physically, if she saw blood or whatever, but she went to the hospital to save her baby. She couldn't take nobody in there with her. She told her mama she was in the hospital though. Her mama called her, and everything, kept in touch with her. But unfortunately, my cousin Tamika, she was only 37. She never had a baby before. This was her first child, her first pregnancy. She went in there. She they from what I heard, they said that the baby had no heartbeat. So I believe they made her deliver the baby. I don't because my cousin would her mother, my cousin, so her mother is my first cousin. So Tamika was my second cousin. So my first cousin, her mother said, wait a minute, I'm trying to remember everything. Bear with me. Rest in peace, Tamika Roby, my cousin. Bless her and bless all other African American women that died in needless childbirth deaths because of poor health care. But her mother, my cousin, told me that Tamika, they said that her baby didn't have a heartbeat. And so Tamika was still alive. I don't know if she was made to push the baby out, or did they do a C-section for the baby. I don't know all of that, because my cousin, her mother was so depressed after she found out what happened to her daughter and her grandchild in pregnancy. After she found that out, she was so depressed, she took the phone off the hook. We couldn't even call her because she was so depressed what happened to her daughter. She was so depressed that Tamika passed away after childbirth. But she cut the phone off. So that's why I don't have a lot of details. She wouldn't talk to nobody until the funeral. They had the funeral of Tamika, I think a week or two after she passed away in the hospital. But what happened was, I believe they said the baby had no heartbeat, but Tamika was still alive. Her mama called to check on her still. She was okay. Tamika was still alive. She put a post on Facebook. She even saw a post that I had put on Facebook. I had put a post about a week before Tamika died. Unfortunately, I put a post on Facebook, and I had quoted the Serenity Prayer that my mama had taught me as a child. And the Serenity Prayer, it said something about to accept the things that we cannot change. Something like that. I put a quote or something on Facebook about the Serenity Prayer. To know the difference, to accept the things that we can't change, and to know the difference. Something, that quote. And my cousin Tamika, she was in the hospital. I can tell that because when I look back on Facebook, she was in the hospital. She saw my post about what I said about my mother teaching me the Serenity Prayer. I was thankful that my mother taught me the Serenity Prayer, saying to accept the things that we cannot change and to know the difference. And so Tamika saw that in the hospital, and evidently she was thinking to herself that she could not change the fact that she lost her baby. And she was accepting the things that she could not change, and that comforted her. And I feel glad to know that at least that post on Facebook comforted her, what I said. I didn't even know this was happening at the time, not until afterwards. Okay, not until after everything happened and she passed away. But either way, I'm saying this to say that she was still alive after she lost her baby. So because of poor health care, she lost her baby. And eventually, what happened to her in the hospital, that a day later or either that same day after she lost her baby, from what I heard, her mother said that Tamika was found on the bathroom floor in the hospital, and she was dead on the hospital floor a day or two after giving birth to her stillbirth baby boy. But we don't know if it was a boy or not, but I believe it was a boy. Okay? But either way, she lost her baby first because they said it was no heartbeat. Tamika was still alive. She was on Facebook. That's how we know she still was alive. But she still was in the hospital getting care, after she lost the baby. They was, I guess, watching her after she had lost the baby. She was in there. They were supposed to release her the next day, but she was still in the hospital. And even though she was in the hospital supposedly being watched over, they didn't watch over her well enough. They should have kept monitoring her, especially because of the high mortality rate with pregnant women, Black pregnant women. After the mortality of African American birth rate is high, they said during pregnancy, and the death rate is high after pregnancy. Black pregnant women, the mortality rate is high even after you have childbirth. It's still a chance of dying within 48 hours after childbirth because the body has to recuperate. The arteries, the vessels, and everything has to recuperate. And if it's not recuperating right, they could die. And what happened to they finally, the autopsy, we don't know if they did autopsy or not, but the medical examiner, they said to my cousin, they told my cousin's mother, my first cousin, I don't want to say her name, but they told her that the medical examiner said that Tamika died from a heart attack, heart problems. Her mother don't believe that that's why she died, because of a heart issue or heart problems. I believe it was poor health care. Like I said, they should have monitored her, especially because they know that African American women die 3 times higher during pregnancy and after pregnancy than white women or any other race in America. This only happens in America. Any other country, that is not the issue. Okay? But because they know that this is the issue, they should have been monitoring her every hour. I don't know how often they monitored her. Unfortunately, it happened in the same hospital I was born in. I was born in 1969. That same hospital is where a lot of my family passed away. Some of them for valid reasons, and some of them with suspicious deaths or whatever. But I'm sensing that as time goes by, the healthcare is getting worse. They're not getting better. The healthcare supposed to get better as time goes by, instead of getting less and less. And they're giving people dangerous drugs and dangerous things, dangerous surgeries that's needless. But either way, like I'm trying to say, they said that she passed away. The medical examiner said it was because her heart stopped, or heart issues. And they had found her on the floor. But like I'm saying, they should have monitored her. If she had a heart issue, they should have monitored her and realized that in the hospital. They did not. They didn't realize none of that until after she died. They should have monitored her heart. They should have gave her a full blood test, a full physical. That's my opinion. After she lost that baby and the baby was stillborn, of course, give her a physical, a blood work. A physical means test her blood. They should have tested her blood for everything. Then they would have found out possibly about her heart issues, if that's what the real reason was. They said she was found on the floor. I believe what happened was she probably ended up having a stroke or something like that. High blood pressure gives strokes. All she needed, just like I said earlier, was some low dose aspirin. Low dose aspirin would have prevented the heart issue or any stroke. She was only 37 years old. passed away in March. I believe it's 2020. No, it was 2021. Okay, excuse me, 2021. She passed away March 29th, 2021. A day after my daughter was born. My daughter's birthday, March 28th. My daughter's 37 now. Ain't that a coincidence? This year, my daughter turned 37, March 28th. But my cousin Tamika, the one I used to raise like my own child when I was 13 years old, I used to watch her. I used to babysit her and watch her as if she was my child. Her mama was a teenage parent, and she was at work. She paid me when I was 13 to watch her. Her mama was 17 when she had her. I was 13 when I was watching her. And her mama had to work. She was working at Wendy's at 17 years old. She had left her baby at home with me to babysit. I was 13. I used to watch Tamika. And a year later, no, not a year later, 4 years later, I ended up pregnant at 17. I could have died myself at 1987. Only reason why I say that is because after my pregnancy, they didn't monitor me that much either. They came in, they took the baby a lot. They kept taking the baby back to the baby unit. They kept taking my baby, even my baby's father was like, "Why y'all keep taking the baby?" They wanted my father's baby wanted the nurses to keep the baby in the room with us, because he wanted to watch the baby himself. He didn't trust them, kept taking the baby back. They said, we got to check the baby's this and that. We got to check the baby temperature. We got to check this and that. They kept taking the baby back to the baby unit, the newborn unit. For birth certificate, they had to take pictures, whatever. They kept taking the baby back. Check the temperature. They said they had to monitor and things like that. They kept checking the baby, but they didn't check on me, the mama. That's the main thing they should have kept checking on. I could have died. And the reason why I say that is because I got up to use the bathroom. My baby, they had the baby in the baby unit because they always, like I said, they took the baby, my daughter, they took her in the baby unit. They do that a lot with newborns. They take them and put them in the baby unit to monitor the breathing and whatever. But they don't really have to do that. They can keep the baby with the mother. But sometimes they take them back there to wash them, to give them the shots or whatever they need to do. I don't know if they gave them shots or not. They shouldn't be giving no newborn shots without the parents knowing anyway. But they do something. I was only 17. I don't know. But they was telling me that they take the baby back to the baby unit to wash them, to check their breathing and make sure their lungs and everything is all right. And I said, okay. I was sleepy and tired anyway, so I let them take them. My father, the baby daddy, he wasn't there at the time, but then when he did come in, he saw me on the bathroom floor. That could have been me, just like my cousin, dead on the bathroom floor in the hospital. In 1987, he saw me on the bathroom floor. What happened was I tried to get out the hospital bed to go pee. I did not have no help to go to the bathroom. They should have told me, don't get out the bed without some help. They didn't monitor me as much as they was monitoring my baby. That's the main thing. The nurses need to monitor the pregnant women more after the delivery. But either way, I got out the bed, the hospital bed, to use the bathroom. The moment I stepped my foot on the ground, on the floor, blood just came gushing out of my vagina onto the floor. Blood just rushed out of me. I kept walking towards the bathroom anyway to go pee. And then I felt all my energy just came out of me and I fainted on the bathroom floor. I was still alert, except I couldn't see nothing. Everything turned black. I was alone on the bathroom floor in the hospital, fainted. I blacked out and fainted because I had lost a lot of blood that ran out of me when I stood up to go use the bathroom, and I just blacked out and fainted on the floor in the bathroom. My baby's father came in the bathroom and he saw me on the floor. And I heard him. I couldn't see, but I heard him yelling at the nurse to say, nurse, come in. I couldn't move. I couldn't see. Everything was black, but I could hear. I heard him yelling at the nurse, saying, where y'all at? Y'all not watching her. Y'all not watching her. She's on the nurse. Then the nurse ran in, and the nurse saw me on the floor, and then the nurse picked me up off the floor. When the nurse came in and started picking me off the floor, I heard everything, but then that's when my vision came back. Thank the Lord, my vision came back, and I came back alert. I could have been dead. They told me what it was is why I fainted was because I had low blood. And the only thing they did to fix the low blood issue at the time was they gave me a steak dinner. They gave me a medium rare steak dinner to build my blood up. And then they checked my blood again, and they said my blood levels was fine. It was better. And that's my pregnancy story. Thank the Lord I made it. Rest in peace to Tori Bowie. And like I was trying to say, I don't know if you heard me earlier when I was speaking over it. Tori Bowie, I believe the Lord let that happen to her. She was running in lane 7. The Lord let that happen to her because she was famous. And if she wasn't famous, I wouldn't have heard about it. And that's why I put it on my Star Diamonds channel. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, everyone. Like, subscribe, and share. And come again. I love you all. Also, I did say, I don't know if you heard it, I said, if you would like to support other African American issues and stay notified of more African American issues, also you can support the NAAAP activist group on Facebook. That's NAAAP activist group. You can search it on Facebook. Make sure you subscribe to the Star Diamonds channel, and you will be notified of all the new videos that come out. I have various shows. This is the Black News show for NAAAP News. NAAAP News with Latanya or Big Mama Lala. NAAAP News gives current events, entertainment news also. I also have Big Mama Lala show where I give scientific videos. In the future, I will be giving videos of reading and commentary on books, live commentary with different books that I wrote, and also other books. Also, I will have different topics about consciousness, Black health consciousness, podcasts, or lectures, or parenting. And like I said, the NAAAP News. Thank you for watching Star Diamonds. Thank you for